Morning team, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Can't wait for the weekend. It's here. All we got to do today is survive. Okay, it's been a good week. Yesterday was a good day. Let's see how we go today. Big print up on NFP. All right, it was a really poor NFP, but we are now reducing the chance of rate hikes, and we'll have to see how that plays into today. If we just look at where we are doing exactly as expected up here. All right, we just look left. We're doing exactly what we've done for the last 4 months now when we've been in here. All right, push up, failed, into range. All right, and we're doing the ping pong while we start to just like settle down and digest this huge move out. All right, so it will make a decision in here. Maybe the market likes it. All right, maybe the market likes it that, hey, maybe we won't get hikes in October. Maybe the market likes that. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. September, sorry. Okay, let's get into the other time frames. And we're going to start with the profile. All right, still inside current week's profile. I'll remind you, we did leave liquidity up here, and I'm very, very aware of that this got left up here. So I do wonder if we want to come for that. The question is it today or not? If this is going to set a lower high on the hourlies, all right, we can trade much lower. But if they are willing to hold, let's just think what we're doing. We're opening up above value, right? We came up to near the expected move high, and we're pulling back towards value right now and into this LVN shelf. So I'm interested in this market this morning if we are going to catch a bid down here for that move back up. Okay, so I want to watch the open to see how we react. Do we protect value area high? Do we sweep NFP, or do we hold above sort of around 700 and look for that drive back to the high? Or is it going to be something like this, back to the high? All right, that's the first thing I'm interested in, if they're willing to hold it. If they're just going to set this as a lower high and they lose value, then we're going to come back into yesterday's chart. All right, not too interested in trading that unless we can trade. If there's definite edge down, then we can look for that rotation. If we lose the rotation of yesterday, there is room all the way down here to the expected move downside, down towards 200s. Okay, so there's lots of opportunities on the table today. The ATR is rather large. We're just going to have to see what this market wants to do. So I'm bullish on the market all the time we're holding this, all right, to make it simple for that move. If we lose this and bids don't come in, then I'm neutral for a range rotation with a bearish edge. All right, if we fail up here and we can get a short down to here and we fail the underside of this and stay heavy, we can look for the short down to 200. All right, so I'm bullish above this, I'm neutral in here, and I'm short under this for that, potentially for that move here. All right, and I want to be balanced like that and careful based on what we've just gone over. As a reminder, all right, here's our point of control for the week, and as a reminder, we are here on the daily and we want to be somewhat neutral. All right, looking at the GEX. Looking at the GEX here, we're opening up in positive gamma. All right, neutral zone is way down here at 540. If we're going to come for that, it means we're not going to hold any of these call walls that we printed above this morning, and we're going to lose value. All right, and that would be the neutral trade. If we're going to go and remain in positive gamma, then it suits this market to come back up to this towards the 900, and if we get really lucky, 30,100 to come and sweep all this out. So I'm still open to this move if they're willing to do it. If we lose that, we go neutral, and I tell you what, if we lose P1, everything changes very quickly and we're neg gamma, and that will get us all the way down to these lows. So we want to be careful and balanced today in how we're approaching this market. All right, lower time frame. Let's get the flow zone system on. And let's move to a 5. And then let's check out ES. All right, same kind of idea with ES. Gapping up here. It's finished its 2-leg pullback in theory. but you would want to see strength over this. We're not seeing that at the moment. That's not a good look. We're coming right into all the chop. All right, and really, if we were going to hold firm, you'd want it to see it hold the top side of this. So that's a first sign of weakness. So we're coming into the chop on ES. We'll see how we act in here between, let's just call it 770s and 750s. That's your sort of rotational zone of what it did yesterday. Now, if we start to lose 750s, we can tag neutral line 740s. We can potentially close the gap and look for, see if it can reclaim 750s. If it can't, all the way down here, folks. All right. So we, again, want to be balanced here with what we're looking at higher time frame. If it loses this bid, if it cannot hold these, down here becomes viable. All right. But at the moment, we're in neutral zone right now for ES, right, based on what we did yesterday. If we take that over to the spiders, it's going to look pretty much exactly the same. All right, there's your second leg pullback. You would really want this to hold the top side of the range. We're not doing that right now, so we're back into range. All right, it needs to reclaim top side of the range to have this push. Otherwise, your sideways rotation to neutral ground. And if you lose neutral ground, and you remember we had relative weakness in ES yesterday, and we lose these lows, all right, it's a waterfall moment. All right, so we're just going to have to be aware of everything that's potentially happening in front of us today. Qs. Same story that we talked about before. We've now flipped this. All right, this is our potential bid out. All right, if we're going to have relative strength in the Qs, same story. You want to hold this bid over 18s or around the 18s. And your target upside is all the way up here at 25. If they lose 18s, we go neutral zone with some weakness. And if we lose 14s, all hell breaks loose. Back down to that 700 kind of level. All right. Let's have a look at broader market. Crude. It's going to just zoom this out. All right. Still is holding this pivot here. All right. So we did this base on the hourly. We're still in no man's land. All right. We're trapped between 76s basically, and let's just call it 79s. Right. That's the build out of liquidity now. All right, has it finished this? Are we going to hold and come upside? All depends on Iran. Or are we coming down here? Who knows? Answers on a postcard. I have no idea. Neither does the market. That's why we're going sideways. VIX dropped down this morning, found a bid at 15s. All right, it's resistance right now. It's 16s. We can flip this now. So we're just trapped between 15 and 16. That suggests a lower ATR in this market right now. There we go. Dixie back inside right now and getting weaker. That's good for the market in terms of upside pressure. Remember where we are. All right, we've lost this key level. You can see selling on NFP. And we might very well, if we can't hold this bid here, we might very well start traveling back downside to take some of these out. All right, so we'll watch that on the Dixie. That will help the market if we do start doing that. Let's have a look at the mags. All right, opening up flat here on the mags. It looks a little bit dangerous here, doesn't it? All right, so fail to break higher, into key level. This is your zone. You don't want to lose this. All right, you lose this on the mags and all those giant squeeze ups we have come right back down to earth. All right, so we want to be careful of that. But if they can keep holding this zone, all right, sideways rotation here, they can build out and look for this move higher. 69 break is what will get them going today, probably. Soxal, all right, relative strength here in the semis, gapping up. All right, looking good. Again, I'm going to zoom this out for you a little bit. We're still just between two areas or three areas, really. So you can see the bid is consistently holding in these 28s. We can now hold these 36s that we talked about yesterday. We're coming up to the 150s. If we get through 150s, we're coming up to 167. We have now in a multi-leg up. It really depends if they stuff this or stuff this back down and want to reset before they look for more. And then the last one, IGV. All right, still strong. Yesterday was the pullback day. Two-leg pullbacks finished. Can they hold and go for new highs? It looks pretty good. As long as pullbacks hold now versus yesterday's low. Was it yesterday's low or the day before? Let's zoom this in. Yeah, yesterday's low. As long as they hold versus yesterday's lows, they look good for more upside pressure here in the market. Right, let's go individual names here. Apple. All right, still sideways, still seeing compression. I would actually like a little shakeout before we try and retest this 320. That's clearly the level. 320 is absolutely clearly the level for the back test, right? We haven't been able to do it yet. You'd imagine it's coming. The question is when. I would doubt today. And 300 to 320, that's the level. And I'm not interested right now, just letting this build out. Amazon, all right, still holding on. Again, I would argue, has the two-leg finished here, or does it need deeper prices? When we zoom out, right, we're into this build here from earlier in the year. It can afford a retest of 260 here. At the moment, it's holding 270s, which I did say I would be interested in for a new leg up. I would actually kind of like to see this move here before it really goes, something a bit more exaggerated. But we'll see. We're holding well here, and it will be the same thing, right? Is it a fake out of yesterday's low, or do they lose yesterday's low, and are they coming back to this 260 level on Amazon? For today, at the moment, we're gapping up very, very slightly, but we're neutral. We're inside yesterday's range. Goog, similar kind of story. We're gapping down, but we're still inside yesterday's range. Good chance to come back into this pocket here. So we'll see if that comes in. If it does, I am interested in bidding that if they're willing to come in and hold it. Meta, ugh, that's just disgusting. That is not very nice. All right. No, thank you very much. All right. If they lose 80s, that's where a bigger move down starts after a big squeeze out. Remember, they were bad on earnings and ripped it because we moved too low, and we're back to the 600s. All right. And they're just coming back down into this pivot here. 580s. 580 holds, they look okay for higher. They lose 580s, they're going to come straight back downside. It doesn't look very pretty out there. Microsoft looks fantastic. I'm still long in this. I actually want it to reload, but we can't get it. It's gapping down slightly, but you know, it's pressing on highs here. 500 big cool wall and closure level of yesterday. All the time they're willing to hold 492s. In the current session, it's very strong for a bid. Right, if they lose 92s, we can come back down to the bottom side of this range and then try and bid out from there. But at the moment, it looks very, very good. Nvidia. I've got to zoom out of this to remind myself where we are. Okay, looking good for everything above 215s right now. Nice recovery. Now holding 220s, cool walls. You're not that far away from trying to get upside. I'll remind you, the P ratio on this is very weak. So if we can come back in here, we now have a shot at a bid out on Nvidia, especially if they're going to start lifting the semis back up. And this historically has been the market leader. It hasn't this year. We've cooled off, but you just wonder, is it its time again? We will see. Tesla, that's awful. That's awful. Right, not something you want to bid on right now. It's consolidating. And you need to watch these, basically 28 and 30s for the break. If they break that, there is a move to back test 70s. So there's room in it, but you can see right now 30s is your level. 30s is the level. All right, folks. So let's see what we get here this morning. Coming back into key zones. Oh, my bookmap's gone. That's a good start. Good luck here, folks. I'm not going to be able to trade this without bookmap, so let's hope this can open. All right, NFP lows down here, marked in white, if they do want to come and sweep, and that would be value area high. You'll be joking, bookmap. Are you kidding me? We're just going to sit like this, are we? All right, so hold a previous day high to start. ES holding VWAP. There we go. Come on, bookmap. There we go. I feel like I would have been bidding that if I could have seen what was going on here, maybe. Okay, let's watch here. At the moment, previous day highs holding very, very well, this blue level. If they lose it, we're going to come and test down here and sweep NFP. The moment looks okay. ES holding VWAP. Q's holding key level. MAG are trading up into their call wall right now at 69s. Semi's pulling down into that 140 level. Sensitive open here by the looks of it. There are significant sellers that have just come in here, 706s, 716s, 732s. So if we hold against them, we're going to move higher. It's very early in the session. And this was where I wanted to get long, but we didn't get Bookmap open, so I've missed the opportunity because for some reason it crashed while we were doing the pre-market briefing. Yes, well, 30,080 is where we've talked about all that resting liquidity. Oh, just what we've gone over today, day before that. All right, if you're long in that blue box, you're up real good already. That's 100 points already coming up. I'm waiting to see if this market will come in for me now. What a nightmare. I didn't even get a notification that it crashed during that pre-market stream I just did. What's the indicator at the bottom? It's Flow Zone Pro CBD. It's something I'm working on at the moment. So you can see we flipped Delta and we're just very aggressive to the top side now. There it goes. I've missed the opportunity because Bookmap was down. This is very upsetting for me. It's exactly what we talked about. Holding this long all the way up to here. This is upsetting. Oh my daisy days. Oh my daisy days. Here it goes. Well, this was it. This was the call we gave pre-market. Hopefully some of you got it. It's up, up and away. It's about as clean as you get. We went over it pre-market as well. That is about as clean as you get. It's a very clear H1, RBS, LVN hold, pivot hold. Everything's perfect about that. Fucking Bookmap, man. We're only 3 minutes in, yes, but we might not come back here again, my friend. That might be it. I know we're only 3 minutes in, but I would say it's probably unlikely we come back there again. We'll see. We'll see if we can come back towards 65. Let's get some volume on there. This is like yesterday. I've missed prime positioning. See if we can hold down into these. Okay, here we come. Are they willing to hold 65s? 65s to 50s maybe. See if we can bid this out now. A starter on there. Nice. All right, moving my stop into the money, and we'll see if this can accelerate away if they're willing. I want it to hold 85s here, really. That's where my starter is. Risking 80s, but see if we can hold this, reclaim 85s. All right, out there on the starter, break even. We'll see if we reload at 65 to 55 again. If they lose 65 and 55, we come right back down to the low, so I'm not going to rebid there if they can't hold it. Well, that was quick. It's like yesterday. That was quick. If you didn't have a limit fishing there, you didn't get anything. Holy. Right, let's see if they hold it second time round. The danger is we haven't taken NFP low out. That's the only danger right now. I'm watching ES pull back into New York Open. Mags looks great. They're through the cool wall. They're through previous day high right now. Semis need to hold this cool wall at 140s. At the moment, semis have weakness in the market. I'm just sitting flat at the moment. The danger is coming to take this out, I think. That's the only danger right now. Back into this blue box. This market's moving fast. It's moving fast today. Semi's very weak here, losing 140s. I'm not willing to bid on this market right now. Back into value area low. I would not be surprised if we take out NFP low here. Then if we reclaim after that, I'll get long. This is the big RBS zone. Semis look very heavy here. They're under the 140s. All right, as always. Oh, we've deleted everything, have we? Oh, that's good of you. All right, semis weaker here. Opening drive and failing. It's 140s there over under. So I'm watching that right now. Normally I'd say we're going to bid out this blue box, but the weakness in semis, I'm waiting to see if they can reclaim 140 or not. Buyers are now stuck at 60s, which we're coming back to tap into. Got a feeling we're coming lower first here. I've got a feeling. Oh, there we go, semis. That's the response. Okay, back above 140. Let's see if they close this 5-minute bar. Back to these buyers. Here comes the bid. All right, well, they did hold the blue level. The semis did reclaim 140s. We haven't closed this 5-minute bar yet, though. About a minute left. Back to VWAP. Mags now pulling back down underneath the 69s. If they don't hold that, then we're going to do the rotation unless they could both go into a sell together. So the rotation is starting. They're starting to bid semis sell the mag already. Trying to be very patient here, folks, because I do not want to get caught the wrong side of this. Normally I'd be bidding out of this blue box, but I missed first attempt, and I'm just waiting for this rotation to make its mind up here. $618. I'll remember that. It's technically speaking here, actually. 640. All right, they're still holding, building liquidity here. Semis still at that 140. They closed on it. They literally closed on it. And mags at 69s. I'm just going to give this a moment, folks. Let it settle down. If we can sweep and hold, all right, if we take this and hold, we're very bullish. If we come into here, remember we're neutral with a bearish edge. Under here, we're pretty bearish. It really depends. They're digesting right now that NFP print. It was a bad NFP print, but do they think, hey, we actually quite like the idea of not having rate hikes in September? We're also, remember, in that daily high volume node zone. We expect it to rotate and rotate and rotate here. There's New York Open holding again. So there is some passive buying taking place down here. Now, MAG has now lost the 69s. Semis have reclaimed 140s. So they are trying, or at least trying to reclaim 140s. They are trying to rotate these. If these both sell together, this will get very nasty. Huge buyer coming in here. I wouldn't think he'd be particularly rewarded for this. The Delta's still on a bid side right now since the open. Yeah, rotation happening. MAG selling off versus under 69s, semis back to 140s. I still think we're going to sweep down here before we make a move. But, you know, this market might have other intentions. Back to this New York Open. Semis finding the bid. MAG losing the bid. It's very tight here while these make their mind up. These two here. It's all about these two. If they go pro-sell together, this thing is going to take out the lows of that NFP. If they don't, we're going to keep rotating and doing this dance we're doing at the moment. MAG into structure, semis now up to their VWAP and some structure. And if they get stuffed on here, they'll struggle. They need to get back through the New York Open now, the semis. MAG finding a bid on its structure. Yeah, VIX coming down side of that. You've got that call on the VIX. It's at 15s. All right, so MAG trying to find a bid with the semis now. Compression definitely starting. Back to value area high here. Do they start this squeeze now? Semis to New York Open. It's all going to depend on that, really. Here it comes. Right. If we're going to hold now, try and get long. I'm somewhat surprised we didn't sweep before we moved up. But if they're going to hold this bid, we'll try and get long into this for that move all the way to the purple box. I am very surprised they haven't swept lower, but here we go. Right, everything finding a bid at once here, which is good. There's a little imbalance left at 60s. Looks like we're building out a bit of a range here. We need MAG above 69s and semis to hold above 42s here. And we need this to come and pull back 70s to 60s and hold. And if we can see absorption there, I will play it long. There's sellers above us and there's bids below. So they're stacking both sides at the moment. Are we going to come and reset here or no? We're just going to rip. Looks like just a rip. She moving fast. Higher day here. There it goes. There's the pop higher day. The next target's all the way up here. Got to find a way of getting involved here. Don't know how right now. Do not know how right now. Right, semis need to hold this pull back in. Remember, we've got this imbalance here at 60s. If they don't hold that, then there's still a chance they can break lows. Be a fail break of the orb high. They've got to hold this mid, basically. Otherwise, we go back to lows. Washing machine taking place. Semis losing at New York Open. MAG still not breaking through 69s. This is very ugly. They are just washing machining it. No trade still. Yeah, still neutral here. Couldn't hold the bid it should have held. Think we're going to come for lows now. I think that's a fail break of the highs. Here it comes. And I would imagine they will try and take NFP low now. And semi's getting nuked on that. Here's the rundown towards the low. That's the New York Open. And I think they're going to try and get down here. And this is just going to keep chopping and building. And it's a battle between semis at 140 and mag at 69. And we can't really do much until it takes one side out and makes something a bit more clear. They are trying to bid New York Open. There is liquidity resting lower. Semis are pinned in. We do not have alignment right now. We have a washing machine. That's just all we have. Like, definite passive selling at that high on that break. Never, no ability to hold any pullback in. What an awful open. Just patient. We'll get the move. I think it needs to come lower before it goes higher, but happy to be wrong. But we are washing machine, and I don't want to play a washing machine. It'd be nice if we just came and take out a level first and then either held the bid, or if we take out lows, then reclaim. Just make everything so much cleaner. I don't even think range traders would be particularly enjoying this, for you saying range traders heaven. I actually don't think it is a range traders heaven right now, because we're poking above and not sweeping below. There's not that much to play here. I think it's just a rotational day right now within these sectors. Right? I don't think it's even offering range. All right, semi's now suddenly finding a bid on the 140s, back to VWAP, mag breaking 69s, and yet we're still not moving higher. VIX finding a bid at that 15 call wall like we talked about. So even when there has been slight alignment here, market's unwilling to move higher right now. Some exhaustion up there at value area high for the session. We're still holding point of control. I still think it's got to sweep something. Semi's back down again to this 140. If they start breaking here, this thing, I think, goes lower. So this is the problem. It's that 140 call wall, which we flipped on semis. They can't break lower, so we're not getting a wash, but they can't get above New York Open. So we're literally just doing nothing. And as always, there is so much of the NQ is dependent on that market right now. Mag's showing relative strength here, back above 69 is coming into previous day high. Semis are just unwilling to do anything. They are unwilling to do anything on semiconductors right now. Well, if we do this much longer, I'm going to leave for the day on a Friday, because I'm not going to sit and watch the market do nothing. Yesterday I was willing to be patient. I'm not willing to be patient on a Friday. I'll get bored out of my brain. All right, semis back to 140 again. Mag breaking out of high. All right, very different markets now. All right, semis pulling back down to lows. Mag trying to break out of highs. I know it's only 20 minutes in, but it's a Friday. My job on a Friday is to protect capital. I'm not going to sit here and do nothing all day. I'd rather start my weekend early than watch the market rotate and rotate and rotate. All right, mag taking out previous day high and failed. Not taking out high of day, but previous day high again and failed. Semi still stuck. And they are just wedged in. Higher lows and lower highs on the semis now. Just completely wedged. Well, this is fun. Back to 140s again. Mag trying to break out through previous day high, not a higher day yet. Are we ever going to get alignment in this market again? That's my question for the rest of the year. I'm not convinced we are. I'm really not convinced they are. Right, back towards higher day, holding value area high right now. Semi's trying to reclaim VWAP, but can't reclaim New York Open. Mag trying to break out through high of day. Here goes the Mag. This is the high day break on the Mag. Semi still can't even get through New York Open. Divergence still at play. VIX coming back down into the 15s. Can he do anything? Sellers are just stacked up here at 800 and just above. Buyers not willing really to walk up. They're at 62s. It's not high enough to hold value. There's high day on the Mag. This is the thing. I guess the market is digesting that news, thinking, do we like it that we might not get rate hikes? Or is that now a problem for the market? And back inside we go again as semis come back down to 140 again. And Mag failed to break out now again. This is fun. Well, this is fun. And semis bid 140 again, and Mag failed to break out again. Well, this is officially the worst start to a morning I've seen. The question is, what's more important to the market right now? Weakness in semis or strength in Mag? And I don't know. I don't know what's more important right now. Back to midpoint, semis under 140, and trying to find a bid back to 140 again. And reclaim 140 again. You're braver than me if you're doing anything. The only trade was that opening trade. After that, it's done absolutely fudgel. We've not moved. We ain't moving. All right, semi starting to break down now. Under 140 at low of day, and Mag are still holding over previous day high. So we have zero alignment. They're literally doing the opposite. They are literally doing the opposite right now. Mag at higher day, semis at lower day, IGV in the middle. All right, new lows on semis. Let's see here how this market reacts. I still think we're probably going to come down here at the moment, but market has been resilient to do it because of the strength in the mags. And the zone here keeps holding up. So there's not really a trigger to trade, unfortunately, at the moment. There isn't really much we can do with it. Right, semis new lows. Let's see if they fail now. One stay heavy versus 140. Here's the wash. And I think the target, if we do let go of this, I don't know how I'm going to get short in here in this RBS zone if we are going to play it. But if we do get an overextension, these are the moves, right? Basically 650 and 600 are the extensions. fail break there on mag. So if mag comes back inside, we're going and semi stay heavy, we're going to get alignment for the first time today for a breakdown. All right, here's previous day high. We see into view up here. We'll see if this lets go. Semi's really accelerating lower now after losing 140s finally. Mag turning inside. So if pops fail here versus 706s, New York Open, maybe I'll consider it. If we reclaim that, it'll be a fail break. All right, put peace on there. There's the acceleration. Come on, take the low out. Can we take this low out, please? You're so close. TP1 here, TP2 here, and then if we recover, we'll get long afterwards. Didn't get the best fill there at 94s. All right, mag back into 69. They can develop a bid here. We haven't quite swept yet, I don't believe. I'm going to just zoom this in to make double sure. Yeah, we haven't quite. So I'm still watching here versus 708s up to maybe 725s. And get a bit more size on if we pop and fail, because we haven't swept. And then we go. Let's see if we can come down all the way down to 610s and maybe even previous day open. Let's just sweep this one low first. Here we go. All right, don't be a dick for a tick. Taking a piece off here, and we'll see if we can get down now to 610s. And then under 610s, we'll see if we can get to 560s and 520s on runners. But that's the main TP just tagged there. They took a while with their faffing today between the semiconductors. When its first TP hit this white line. I would expect a deeper shove here before they recover. It might be that they don't, but I would expect a bigger, cleaner sweep here before they recover. And once they do that, if they recover, we can think long. Pop's still failing here. They might need to come a bit higher up here, all the way up to 620 potentially. That's a big move on semiconductors. All right, mag now under 69. So I would imagine if semi start finding a bid, mag will come back down to V up here. We'll see. Here we go for the retest. Right, let's see here. Watching to see if we fail this level up here now. We still haven't swept. It's just how high do they want to take this? There is good selling at the low, so we want to be careful, but I still think there's a deeper sweep to be done there. Here it comes. They absorbed again there at NFP low. I would expect us to move lower than we are. There's two times there they've absorbed down there. We've only got a little size left here. Mag holding 69. So here's the move back to 7 and 720s. I'm going to watch here. If we pop and stuff, I'll put a bit more size on. If we pop and hold, I'll be done with it. There's the first stuff. Where are they hanging out? 12s and 25s. Semi's finding a bid back up. And they're going to probably set a higher low. I added a little piece there. I still think we can break lows. If we keep holding this opening range, I've got to be careful. But I did add some more back into that 700s. Didn't quite get up to 720s. Starting to see more absorption here. Need to be careful with my sizing now. If they rip this without a proper sweep, it's going to be dreadful. Looks good. Come on. Better. Come on. Come on. 600s, please. 610s. Come on. Nice. Good. Accelerate now. Get through all these bids. Right, I'm going to pay myself a little bit there because I did add. I'm trying to hold now for 610s. Right, value area high from yesterday. Here it comes. Come on, accelerate. Jesus Christ. Mr. Whale, get out my way. Here we go. That's a better sweep. All right, we should get 610s hopefully on an extension here. You can pay yourself some into this. Trying to hold something down here, but we did now take out NFP. I'm going to remove that now. So took some size off. Now, what I would say for the day is if we now recover this, it's very bullish. If we recover that, it's very bullish. Definite absorption down there. You can see heavy delta. We're not moving lower yet. I would like us to come into this. If we get that, that would be a runner, and then all the way down there if we get very, very lucky. But this will be the next TP. We've already taken some out here, folks. You are seeing absorption down there. This little A, it's telling you absorption down there. We're testing this today. It looks pretty good so far. If it's good, I'll make it available in a few weeks. And that divergence signal at the high was also very good. Right, here we go. Come on. Get through this guy who keeps soaking the bid here down to 25s. Semi's new lows. This is, come on. Come on. There is a guy non-stop bidding here. But hopefully we can break lower into the 10s. Here we go. There we go. Little zero line here into 20s. Give me 10s. 10 points away. Points away, and then we see we get 520s. I will reload if we stay heavy under 10s. I'll put some more size on for the rotational move. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Fill it. Fill me. Fill me. Fill me. Please. Please. Oh, don't be a dick for a tick. All right, dragging some off there. Missed my fill by a bit, but I got some out into 17s. There or thereabouts. All right, and your tiny size left for this move down here. Oh, God. That fucking rotation this morning. He made that hard work. We had to be so patient. Right, Semi's coming in to fill the gap. Expect to bid out from Semis here. I'm going to move my stop down to VWAP here, I think. Protect 73s on the runner. Because I want to be very aware of the turnaround. Now, if we lose value, right, then rotation in here becomes available. Remember, this was our neutral point for the day. If they hold this, they can still be bullish. And a very bullish move would be a reclaim of this and then ascend all the way back up. I'm not ruling that out, and I will be interested in that if they do that. But at the moment, we flipped it, right, for now. for now. But if the pro bulls come back in and defend value and reclaim, we can think about higher. My stop's up here at VWAP. About to take it out. Left me in. Don't know how. There we go. I'm out. Out on the runner now for me. Now they can still defend the LVM. The reason I'm less interested is we've now sweat at the NFP level and we've protected value. And I know that if they're willing to do this, relief can come back upside. If this was just a retest of value, they can do that. We'll see. I'm good with that for now. All right, ES rejecting VWAP and New York Open. MAG coming back down under 69. Semi's getting the relief. All right, so they're rotating these again. All right, so Semi's getting relief. MAG coming back down. IGV getting pushed. Only on a trade now. It's still rejecting. All right, if we stay heavy under here, this trade becomes available. All right, if they protect this, this trade becomes available. So I'm out of the shorts. We'll just see now. The rotation started again. Bidding semis back up. Previous day's VWAP. And MAG coming down to its current day's VWAP. And we'll see if they flip those again there. Is there any news for crude? No. It's not a big move on crude though. It's probably just a technical move. Not seeing anything. Tired today. Tired. Horrible market. I'd say this morning was not the best, but once we let go, what's harder is this level here is demand level. So it's very hard to like size into that for this move. It's very risky. It's an RBS level. Would have been better if we'd been short up here pre-market or into the expected move. But, you know, they didn't want to give us that opportunity. Right, big bar at these lows. I would somewhat doubt that he will be looked after here. I'd expect you're going to make a new low here because he's just come marketing in like a wally. VIX getting crushed as well. Everything getting crushed. There's the new low. So you've literally tagged value now. I'm just letting this develop here. I want to see if we actually come inside of previous stage value and if we're going to let go of the whole thing or not. Semi's coming in to close the gap here. This is value area high from yesterday. They're still trying to bid on this. Previous day open is at 69. So if you're still short side, there's still a chance we rotate value all the way down to 480s as possible. So I'm watching this to see how we act if there's a new position here for a rotation. Moment, some absorption down there. Right, ES has now taken NFP. And we're now rotating value. So if you did hold that short, your next targets are 540s, 520s, 488s, and 470s. And then I would say be done with it. If you get like a big extension here, I would say just be done with it. Now, expected move today potentially is down to 200. So I would say that's somewhat unlikely, but these at the moment are likely targets. If we pop back in and fail here, I'll consider playing it. If we pop back and reclaim, then it's going to be a fail break into value. So I'm watching this. If we lift back up towards 600 to 620, I'll see if they stay heavy. Series now close their gap. There's a lift between up to 600 to 620. Somebody's trying to bid on gap fill at the moment. And this is going to matter now. If we reclaim value, then it's going to be a failed look inside to go higher. And if we reject it, then we can rotate the whole of value. We haven't come up quite high enough there. It's a big buyer here that keeps slapping it. I don't think I'm going to get my fill to go lower here. We're not going to retest high enough. Just missed that in this pocket. And I only wanted first attempt. All right, Semi's finding a bid off PDC. Mag coming into VWAP. And if we reclaim value here and base above, I will get long. There's the poke and fail. Okay, no reclaim, poke and fail. So short still in play. Put a tiny piece on there versus 610s. We've got a break under 90s here. It's where the buyer last came in. So 610s to 90s is the rotation. Here's the 90 move. We've got to stay heavy here. His actual level is 87s. Semi's into PDC, and if you're careful if they find a bid here. We'll cut this at 610s for me. If we break above that and hold, I'll get long. Because we're in neutral zone now. Looking better here. Yep. Break. Go, 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 go. Semi's holding PDC. Had a chance to put in a new low there and didn't. If we break above 610s now and hold, I will flip this bias and go back long side. At the moment, we're okay. We'll be very careful with semis at PDC here. We need them to break lower. Come on. Come on. Down you come. Looking for these fills down here now if possible. It's getting whippy on the tape. It's getting very whippy on this tape. And that'd be my out. Okay, PDC held, VWAP held. Right, if we hold now above 610s, I'll get long. And hopefully they stop whipping this about and they just start doing a normal move. Where's that seller? 90s. Come back to 610s, please. now. Oh, it's not going to fill. It's just going to go straight up to value area low. It's fucking market, man. Once it decides, it goes so fast. This market is so quick. So if you longed 610s, your first out is here at value area low for the session. And then your next out is basically 714s. We're now into value area low. And if we reclaim value for the day, we move back inside the D shape. At the moment, they're going to try and protect. Shorts will try and protect this LVN. I'm waiting to see if we bid this or not. So sellers are trying to protect this red box. Buyers will want to protect 610s right now. Here we go. All right, I've got a piece on there. It's not the best entry. It's on the reclaim. Big stuff up there. Huge rejection. Big seller up there. We're going to have to accelerate through him now at 70s. What a whipsaw. What a fucking whipsaw this is. All right, still get bid in. 610s is the level. Huge rejection up there. Got to get through 670s here. Rejected again. I've de-risked some size here. Come on. Here's the 670s again. This is where he just was. Nice, good. All right, feeling a bit better about this now. And we're going to target 700 and then all the way up to highs. All right, good. Here's the move to sevens. I want all pullbacks to hold versus 70s now. Odd. Nice. All right, peeling some off here into this node. And then if we get above this, we're going to try and get up to this purple box, guys. If we can get above this. Am I long? Yes, because why? We reclaimed 610s, right? How many times I say, if we get back above 610s and base, I will get long. Said it many, many times. Semis are not weak. I'm not even looking at chat. You guys just can't read markets. I'm not even going to look. They are not weak. They're doing the opposite. They've just reclaimed PDC and gone straight to VWAP. Shut up. Trying to say stuff which isn't true in chat. Don't do that. All right, we'll see if we can pull back and hold this LVN now. Any pullback which holds between 700 and 72s, I'm interested in a rebid. I'm turning chat off because I just want to focus here. I'm in a long position. I've just rebid it. And you just guys are just question again today. So I'm going to trade first and I'll come back to the questions later. All right. But my primary job is to trade here. I added on that last dip into the LVN like I just told you I would. And hopefully we can accelerate away now. If we can't, I'll be very careful if we lose value on the session. But at the moment we look okay. I don't really want to get stuck here for too long. We're going to flip this. We can actually shrink this down a little bit. Nice. All right, so what we're seeing today is protection of previous day's value, a sweep of NFP, a reclaim of current day's value, and now we're going to target high of days. And once we get through high of days, we're going to target all the way up here to 900 if we can. So we're short for this move down. We were out here. Once we reclaimed, we're long. And if all dips hold this, we're going to look for acceleration out. If they can't hold value area low for the day, that's going to be a different story. Watching this for more ads if we absorb. And a big seller's stuck at 670, so I've got to watch him. Added a bit more there. Previous day high held there. I'm interested in how we act at 670. It's where seller's currently stuck. I've added a little bit into this LVN. I would like to see an acceleration up now. If we can't accelerate up, then I'm going to assume we're going to come and test 670s. This is good back to New York Open. We've got to get through this VPOC and we can get moving. There we go. Previous day high test here on mags. Come on, accelerate now. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Nice, LVN holding. All right, I'm trying to get all the way up here now, folks. Here we go. Let's go. What the fuck are you stuffing that for at 50s? Get out of my fucking way. Right, I'm just going to let this work now. Hopefully we get all the way up. And we're okay as long as they're willing to hold 70, 670. As long as they're willing to hold that, we're okay. Fucking no LVN there, got stuffed at 46s. I'm going to try and let this work the best I can. I'm looking for high of day. It's as simple as that. If we hold 670s, I'm looking for high of day. Looks good. Nice. Let's get through this and just go rippy, please. Mags through previous day high. Semis back up to New York VWAP. All right, we're seeing the bid come back in. Lovely. All right. And whoever said semis were weak, you can shut your mouth. All right. Understand what you're talking about. Please don't say stuff if you don't know what you're talking about. You will scare other people out of trades. All right. Give useful, correct information or give nothing. That's not me being an asshole, but you need to be responsible for other people here. All right, here we go. So let's see if we can get through this node now at 46s and just rip up to high day. And then I'm going to target 900s up here. Purple box where I want to get. It's expected move. It's callable one. That's where I want to get for the day. 880s basically is where the liquidity is, right? All right, semis into VWAP. Hopefully they don't get stuffed here at VWAP and ruin the trade. on. Come on, up you go. Enough of the dithering. I really hope they don't do this little flush move back down to this seller at 70s before they go higher. I hope they don't do that. I hope we just lift here. Right, semis through New York VWAP. That's a good sign. So they're going to come test their opening range now, 24-hour VWAP, which would be like basically 39s, which should help us, if they do this move, for us to get up to this highs. If you want to pay yourself on the way, you can, but you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for 880, 900s, all right? I will probably pay myself a little bit as we come into the top side of this range. If we can get over this node, it would be a really good look. And then, you know what I'm looking for, all the way up here if possible. I think we can do it, folks. I think we can do it. So I want to pay myself some on the move up into this kind of zone here. And then I'm looking for this. This was the shake and bake out, I think. Right, that's your RBS zone, higher time frame. That's previous day's value area high. They failed to do the rotation remove. Remember, the rotation move was here. We reclaim value. All right, then we're upside. We reclaim value on the day. We reclaim LVN on the day. Then we're upside. It might be that they need to shake and bake again, but this is their target right now. This is where they want to come, which was the target all day. It's the same thing we've been looking at all morning. And I will remind you, pre-market is the same thing I give you. All right, there's the shake and bake. Into value area high. Find the bid, reclaim this, look for higher day, look for this move here. Okay, this is what we're looking for. We're in this primary move. We played the short in this side of it. Now we're long back out of it. That's what we're looking for. If we failed value, we would have rotated it. We didn't. We didn't fail value. All right, so we are in a bid. Like I said, if you want to pay yourself on the way up here, you should. Right, this is a big trade now. We were long as soon as we started reclaiming 610s, and I got a long, started getting long at around the 40s, really, and 30s. So we're up like 150 odd points at the moment. And we'll see how high we can get. These are targets, right? Targets, targets, yeah, targets, targets. You might need to build some out. It might not just do it in a straight line. If we're very lucky, it will do it in a straight line, but we might need to build some out. Re-entry long previous day high. Well, we already did it. I already added back in here. You would have heard me saying if we pull back into the LVN, I'm going to add. I already added. I added a few times down here. All right. I wouldn't be like re-adding back in here again. Hopefully it doesn't do that move. It might very well need to because we have a seller who's caught at 670s, right? It might need to come back down there. Hopefully it doesn't come back down there. I'm going to grab my water while this is figuring itself out. I'll be right back. All right, semis rejecting that opening range that we talked about. ES made a new high of day, so relative strength in ES. Semis causing a little bit of problems in NQ here. A little bit of relative weakness, but we still look good. All right, what we do need to be careful of is ES has fulfilled its obligation of taking out the high day. All right, so that's a beautiful move on ES. This is what we want NQ to do. We've just got a little bit more weakness because it's just got stuffed on the VWAPs. Now we'd want this to hold, all right, in here. All right, we need semiconductors to find a bid here. They have closed their gap, so they don't really have a reason to come down. All right, unless they're going to be very, very weak. But this was the strength from semis. We would like them to hold this pivot for a move higher. Let's Still looks good here. We're still protecting New York Open. Still look good. You refilled some there. Well, they did absorb there. The only thing is there's like a little unfinished auction at 701s. Hopefully they don't come back for that. I'm not going to add any more. Like I've had my ads. I don't want to move my core up too much. If we fail to get through 750s here, you might want to take a little piece off. That'll be a fail break higher. Hopefully we just squeeze through 750s and lift. But if we keep poking 750s and failing here, you might want to de-risk a little bit. That's good. That's a good sign. Come on, up you go, sunshine. See, this is the only danger, this level here. This level here is a problem. I need ES to hold previous day high bid. You've been taking pieces on the way up? Yeah, don't blame you. I've taken a small piece, but I'm trying to hold for the bigger move on a Friday. I've sat here long enough. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. That's okay. I'm not going to lose money, so. Alex, your mic volume is low. No, it's not. I'm probably speaking gently, but it's not getting turned up. You got to turn it up your side. All right, here's previous day high on ES. You would like that to find a bid here on ES now. It would be useful if it caught a bid there on ES. Still holding well here. They're not bidding until that 670 at the moment. This is the one thing that I'm concerned about on the tape. Those buyers have seen the seller that I've seen and they are bidding on him, and that is considerably lower back at value area low. And if we keep failing the 50s here, we're going to do point of control to value area low rotation, and we're going to test that seller. That is going to be a pain in the butt. Mag, new high day, absolutely ripping. You need to set a higher low down there in this LVN. It's New York Open again, bid. Only thing I'm concerned about is that seller who's stuck at 70 and they might need to come and test him. I really don't want them to do that, but it might need to happen. Right, this is good. We want to get back through these 50s if possible. That's a big level right now. If we lose 70s, it's a problem. Yes, weaker. Previous day high. All right, into LVM. So we're into where I last added. Core is still below here at the moment, so it's okay, but really don't want to lose value or take it off if we lose value. That 50 rejection was a bit of a signal. What's the breadth looking like? Where's my Chrome? else caught a bid on ES then? Healthcare, okay. Finances don't look great. All right, here's that test towards that 670 player. Mags needs to hold previous day high, ideally current day, old high on the current day would be good. Semis, I don't want to lose 3450s here, really. So far, it's okay. It's not the best here because we rejected 50s, but we're holding. This is a two-leg pullback. We can still hold and build out here. We need to get back above this New York Open. I hate that these buyers will not move higher. And it's been like that for about 15 minutes. I really do not like them just hanging out there where that seller was. Can we get back through New York Open here? There's imbalances up here to 30s. Hopefully we can just pivot after this two-leg pullback now. Hopefully that's the retest done. And we can see this. All right, we've got to start getting above these POCs, though. We cannot keep faffing around here. Good bid out on semis. Held that key level. All right, they bid 3480s, and we said 3450s needs to hold. We look better here. They've just got to get back going here. We need a bit of an injection into the market for the lift back towards 800s. Just trying to let it work. It's as simple as that. I'm trying to let it work. Nothing's changed for me. We look good. We're still targeting these highs and up here. I don't want to see this stuff at 50s, though. We've already stuffed 50s once. Come on. Mate. Just stuffed in front of 50s. That ain't a good look. Previous day high check. We still have not tested this seller at 70s. If they don't hold 70s, I'm done with it. They're still not willing to walk up, these buyers. They're like, I'm filling at 60s and that's it. I'm not moving from my 60s. Right, more sellers at these lows. Here's the retest of this last seller. And they've just piled in short here. And short again, they've piled in. Well, you've been here all day, buyers, so you either absorb it or we're going back to lower day. And they're adding liquidity lower right now, these buyers. I don't like the look of this. I'm out. I'm out. I can get back in. If we just pivot up here and hold, I'll get back in. It'll be the same core level. I just didn't want to go red on the trade. And there we go. All right. If we rehold this on a pullback into 80s, I'll try the same trade again. It'll be a worse entry than before, but it'll be the same as my add entries. All right, starting to feel some into this. If we break back above 720s, I'll add some more size again for the same trade. It's exactly the same trade. Maybe I could have been more patient, I don't know, but so iffy, this market. All right, added a piece there. Small size at the moment. I will not add any size, like notable size, until we break 720 and above. What are you doing, buyers? Why are you now lifting down? Go away. Whoever's doing that at 660, fuck off, mate. Clown. Who is this clown on the tape? Go away. Thank you. All right, there is some selling absorption up here. I'm not going to add any notable size until we break back above 720s here. Here we go. We've got to get back above this. You can see it's a big level. Yeah. Thank you. Mate, 720. It's that 720. I might be done with this for the day. Semi's weaker now. They need to hold this level and they're not holding it at the moment. And they're going to ruin this whole setup. So we've got MAG at high day. ES was at high day. Semi's stuffed on VWAPs. It's now or never. If they can't hold this level, we're going to break to lows. So they have to hold this level. They need to set a pivot high low here. They need to set this, otherwise they're in big, big trouble. And remember, this is their daily over under as well. Right, they need to set this, otherwise this whole wash starts to take place. And it will be from this guy's pin failure. Look at that. While we're drifting up. The washing machine. I love trading a washing machine. My mic is not on mute. It will be your YouTube, your error, your problem. It is nothing to do with me and my mic. I will not be answering any more stuff like that today. You guys did it yesterday. You're already starting again today. Please stop. It's got nothing to do with my mic. Yeah, I know my mic's all good. All right, I'm still holding very small size here. I'm very concerned here. We're starting to not hold 70s, so that's where I am. Oh man, these buyers are being idiots. I'm out. These buyers are being idiots. They're being absolute fucking idiots this morning. I'm out. Done with that. If they're going to keep just being stupid and pulling orders and adding lower, I'm not interested in being a buyer. And they are. This is exactly what they're doing. They're being absolute clowns. Instead of walking up, they're pulling and adding lower and pulling and adding lower. And that ain't strength in a bid that I want to see. So I'll just wait now for a repivot. It is a game going on here, and I'm not going to play their games. They can play their games on a Friday. I'll join once someone loses. Yes, I know. That's stocks is well below, but it's coming back to PDC again. If they can't reclaim those 35s on SOXL, it's going to be a problem. I still think we're going to lift it. I just think they're just being absolute clowns, but who knows? ES looks better. Mags is at high day. All right, over previous day high. Everything's looking good other than the semiconductors. VIX is under the 15s. We should be lifting here, and semis are dragging it. They are dragging the market. I still think there's a good chance we lift higher, but I'll probably just wait to join in after we break over 720s. I'll wait for a strong move now because I don't want to get trapped in their games, and they are playing games down here between 70s and now between all the way down to 35s. Frustrating with semiconductors. Oh, mate, it's so frustrating. I mean, I tweeted about it many, many times. There's nothing worse than the rotational trades for me. As a day trader, I can't think about a worse market than a market rotating sectors. It's really, really tough. When it doesn't matter when they're softer sectors and they're not as powerful, but when they're so influential, it's really annoying. Here we go. So I will get back in this trade if we start basing over 720s. Still the same, like it's the same setup as we took here. Okay, nothing's really changed. We're not accepting price into previous day's value. We're not coming under current day's value. It's just that they're playing a few games here. I had a rebid here. So remember, I was long. I rebid. I trimmed a little bit. I started a new position here. They played games. If we do this, I'll rebid again. But they've got to stop this game in here. They have to stop this. All right, we'll see. If pullbacks hold 80, maybe I'll consider a starter. If we break 720, I'll definitely size. Let's poke to 20. Jazz? All right. In danger of missing it, aren't I? Here we go. All right, let's start triggering in some longs here if we can hold these. So pieces on here. We're looking better. I want all pullbacks to hold. The teens, really. Hopefully they don't set a lower high here on ES at 775 and completely fuck this thing up. And we have a little unfinished auction at 702s. This is all going to be, ES is rejecting 775s at the moment, which is less than ideal. We don't want that to set a lower high up here. It will be a problem for this market. I'm long here. Added a little piece more here. Need this to get back over 20s and soon. Come on, all the liquidity's higher now. Can we just stop playing the games, dealers, please? Please. Can you stop with your nonsense just for a moment so we can get paid? A little concerned about ES at 775 here. Semis look better. Mags at a high day. We should be moving higher and we're not. That's the broader market and that gives me some concerns on this move. Come on. We should be moving higher here. Just got to hope the broader market wants to lift with us because we've just stuffed. We don't want to lose this. All right, we've done this. We need to do this move and that will really help NQ because it would just be a risk on move sector wide. So I'm long, I'm looking for acceleration out of this. We need to get back above these 20s. Looking better. Like these buyers down at 65 to stop doing what they've been doing all day and just move up. Here we go, looking much better. Can we just break and go now, please? Through all these sellers at 35 and just take us to 70s. Be very careful here on ES. This is the only danger. Don't want weakness broader market. Why would people sell here? They're just trying to protect this LVN because the sellers that want to sell here, right, we are in a range, higher time frame, remember? Right, we've seen this. If they can force this sell here, they can try and drag it down to here. It's what the sellers are trying to do. Buyers are trying to protect value from previous day, current day, and lift up to the top side of this. This is the most traded level of the day. It's not ideal. Right, this is point of control. All right, and it's also the New York Open. So it's a battleground here. I just still want to see this and this filled today. I'm running out of time, really. The ES looks awful. Fucking hell, mate. Q's, you're going to ruin my day here. You are going to ruin my day here. It's going to be basically a scratch day. Well, it's going to be $300 day on each account, which is going to be shite if we can't lift this. When I was up biggity big and tried to give it a chance. Not the market to let it give it a chance, I guess. Probably need to remind myself that. Not the market to give it a chance, because we've gone back into the doom area. And maybe I should have had a word with myself. We're back in the doom area. I don't know why this keeps deleting this grey box every time I put it on. I think the coding on TradingView is about as bad as I've seen it. All right, we're back into this, aren't we? Doom area, doom area, doom area, doom area. We're in doom area. So maybe looking for bigger moves. All I was looking for is a drive up somewhere into the top side of this today. We didn't get it. Maybe I need to review that. Maybe that's what I'll do over the weekend. See, this might be back into see money, take money. Alex area for all the time we're in here. Yeah, I basically gave 100 points back on this, trying to let it hold. There you go. Just trying to play for the bigger move today. We'll see. We'll see how this shakes out. I'm flat now, and we'll see. I'm only up. Yeah, 200 to 300 on each account. It's poor. Based on what though, Kevin? Dump into market close like the other day. Based on what? It's 11 o'clock on Friday. What's your thesis based on? How come we can't go up? Well, because we've got huge divergence on the tape, and semis did the hard work. They lifted once, they lifted twice. This is where we started getting long in the market, and after that they failed, and they're in consolidation. They're not taking out lows, they're not taking out highs, they're in a sideways pattern. And for whatever reason, while we're doing this, even though mag's drifting, we can't find a bid out in the market. So it's just what it is. And when we look at the higher time frames right now, we are in a consolidating area. There's nothing we can do with this at the moment. The H1 looks awful. This is a market not knowing what to do. And this H1's about to close. This is a market not knowing what to do. It does not know what to do. So we're just flat. Hopefully in time that will change, but that's where we're at right now. We can only do what's in front of us. It's quite tough to give back a decent size of 100 points, I'll tell you that much. It's not a nice feeling. Do I have one more go at it? Do I have one more go at it? Maybe. New York Open still the level. It's 20 level. It's still it. Buyers keep failing up there. Again, there's more buyers again come on the bid lower. I really don't like seeing that. They've come back on the bid at 50s and 37s. Is there anyone lower than that? Let me just zoom out here for a minute. 500. What the fuck are you doing down there? I ain't coming down there, mate. Not right now. Just going to require patience. I don't want to fight it. I don't want to fight it, especially on a Friday. I should remind myself, we're in capital preservation mode. $200 on plus on each account is not the worst Friday in the world. I've had much worse Fridays than that in the past. So if we get back above 20s and hold, I will reconsider again. Semi's back to these 35s. I'm watching this for this might be the last attempt at it. This might be the last trade of the day if we can get back above and hold this. ES back into that 775. So if it breaks through that, it's going to really help us. This micro pullback holds here into here. There's ES rejecting 775. Semis can't base above 35. How long we got left? 2 minutes left. New high day for mags. It'd be nice if we get going here. All right, I'll stick a feeler on here. I still think we need to come and sweep and come down to 80s. Delta's gone to sleep here. We're just going over, under, over, under. Here we go. This is better. All right, finally. Better. All right, I've got no size on though. I've just got a feeler on. So we want all pullbacks to hold into 11s really. And we want ES to hold above 775. New high day on MAG. And we want semis to hold above 35. Seriously. We're not even getting to edges now. Seriously. Fucking hell. Oh, well done, semis, for absolutely ruining this potential move. Get back above 35, you piece of crap. All right, back above 20s, I'll add. I'm starter only. These need to stop this. They need to do this like this is. This is beautiful. This needs to start joining in. This is the 35 zone. It's got to get back above that on semis. I don't know if you can see that. I've got to move this up for you, haven't I? All right, better. I do not like all the unfinished auctions underneath us we keep leaving. I'm going to be honest. That's scaring me a little bit. All right, another new high day mag. Semis back at 135s. It's a huge over-under here on semiconductors. I want 775 to hold here on the ES. I want to flip this cool wall. All right, adding a little piece more. I'm still very small on micros. I'm very concerned about a flush back down to 85 here at the moment, but I've added some more here, and I'm still looking for the same targets as earlier. All right, and I will respect 64s this time round. I'll have to, because we've moved value lower. Come on. Still lots of sellers here. 35 all the way up to 70s. If we can just lift up towards 60s, I'll peel some off and be willing to hold then. I don't know. Why don't you call the buyers, Brandon? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I can't tell you. They're fucking idiots. They're annoying me too. I wish I had a straight dial to them, bud. Here we go. Here we go. All right, let's see if we can get some off in towards 60s. There's a little low volume node 45s. I'll peel a little off up there. And this is the final attempt for me today to try and get the targets. Oh, yes, it's getting stuck at that 775s. don't like that. I do not like that, son. Absorption up there from sellers again. Come on, ES, get back above it for me. Right, better from the mag. Right, now starting to accelerate away from 135 on the mag. We need to get up towards VWAP on the mag. They need to stop the games. Stop the games. You've set the high low. Just do the rest of the work. Fucking hell, it's tight. It's doit. Doit, 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 doit. Like I said, I don't like these unfinished auctions at 700 and at 90s. It's slightly concerning that we come and flush and fill those. Again, they're just restacking these cells. Come on, this looks better. Come on. VIX rejecting 15. Semi's moving back up to VWAP. Can we just move with these guys now? Do we want to move with these guys now, market? All right, here comes a rotation. Can we just move with these guys now? Because you've moved with them downside. Can we move with them upside? Here we go. Come on. Get through this wick and get me up to 60s. Okay. Little low volume node here at 45. I'm looking to fill some and take some partials up here into 60s, and then I'm still looking for my targets. High day and 900. Nothing's changed. This is my final attempt at it, folks. It either goes or it doesn't. But I will respect value on the session now, so we will be paying ourselves some here. Same trade 3 times here today. One with the ad. Second attempt. And this is third attempt. Same trade thesis. If it goes, it goes. Hopefully it goes. Range rotation expected. Yes, I agree. Positive gamma range rotation expected, but we're not coming up to initial balance range. We haven't come up to value range. We've tightened value higher. We haven't come up to like expected move range. We haven't come up to these highs, which I think are primed to come and get taken today, which is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to stick with my thesis. I think my thesis is good. I just think it's making it very, very hard. It's not the easiest move. All right, so if you want to pay yourself here into value area high, you can. I'm going to look for the higher day break and the move to 880, 900. All right, it's what I'm looking for. It's the same thing I've been looking for all morning. Nothing's changed, folks. All right, I'm not going to change my bias. This is what I'm looking for. We played this short down into here. We held value area high. We reclaimed blue box. We're now drifting back up to the upside. The only difference is we're going to respect value on this session. So if you want to pay yourself some here right now, you can pay yourself some. I'm still going to try and trade up to these areas. These circles are where my things are. Think about what we looked for this morning. We were looking for this move down to value area high to reclaim this box for that. Does this look familiar? This was from pre-market. All right, it's exactly what I've drawn out. That's what I'm looking for. It's starting to play out. They've just made it tedious, but it is starting to play out. All right, here's value area high on the session. So pay yourself a little bit here, and then we'll see if we get the higher day move. They're making us work for it. Yeah, they are. But this third trade's going to pay. And if we can get up here, it's going to be worth all the hassle. Here we go. Semis through New York view up again. Let's see if they can get up to that opening range again. We've seen absorption at the lows. We flipped the neutral line. We're starting to see CVD start to print well here. All right, this is the new indicator. I'm testing it at the moment. I like it so far. So far today, it's printed absorption, divergence a few times. It's showing up pretty well. So I quite like this right now. I've been working on this for a little while. It's the closest thing I can get to what I have on NinjaTrader. The indicator, it's not out yet, mate. It will probably be called, I don't know, Flow Zone Delta Pro or something like that. All right, let's see if we can get these fills up towards high of day here. I've paid myself some into value area high in case we fail. We can very well pull back to where we just came from, which is basically the 30s. The last seller that still got stuck is, 25s. We have some imbalances here down towards 38s, and we have another one, all right, at 25. So ideally, they hold the top imbalance, which is 38s. And ideally, ES holds 775 here. And ideally, we don't do some stupid rotation now. Ideally, we stay in alignment where MAG wants to print higher. It's starting to pull back a little bit, as are semis. So I'm going to watch 38s here. 38s, 45s and 38s. I would like those to hold on dips. I really don't want this to come back to the old imbalance, which is VPOC right now. I'd rather we hold 38s and 45s here or in front of it. This is looking good for the acceleration higher. Do I code myself? I code as much as I can myself, and when I get stuck, I get a coder to help. Fortunately, there's guys in my Discord who are very good coders. Okay, back down to these 45s. 45s to 37s is the imbalance, which I would like them to hold. Otherwise, they're going to come back to VPOC. I really don't want them to come back here. I want them to hold this LVN, right? We want to see them lower time frame protect this. Right, we want to see them protect that. If they don't protect that, a range rotation is possible all the way back down to mid again, which is not ideal. At the moment, we look good. So I'm just going to sit in it and try and let it work, just like I did first time round. And hopefully the market will reward me for being patient. Either way, I'm not going to lose money on this trade. Do I partake in beer consumption? I do. I mean, I don't drink as much now as I used to. I'm pretty good now with my health. I will be having beers this weekend. I'm supporting my friend who's doing a triathlon on Sunday. So I'll be up early to go and watch him, and we will go and do brunch afterwards. And I will be celebrating his. It'll be his second try, but it'll be his first try where he's done the water in the sea, Pacific Ocean. Not the easiest swim, can be choppy. So we'll be going out afterwards. I'm sure he'll be hammered off absolutely nothing because he'll be exhausted. All right, can we hold here 65s now and just keep pushing this higher and higher and higher? ES coming up for higher day. Semi's looking really good. MAG looking really good. We look great for the first time. We look great. All right, we look great. It's playing out. It just took fucking ages to build this right shoulder. They had to play this game in here. They had to do this, fail to break lower, pivot, and go. And hopefully, please, market, please come up here in here, please. I've been extremely patient. I really don't want to give 100 points back for the second time today. Where would I re-add? I wouldn't. I would not be re-adding. Nope. because if this fails, then we rotate value. And if you re-add up here at the moment, which is arguably viable, but if it fails, you've moved your core too high up. All right, because we haven't done this. All right, if we're like long here and we add here and it comes down to here, you'll break even. Right, I don't want to. It's not giving me enough. There's not enough room for me for a good ad right now. For me, maybe for you it's different. All the time we're holding this, the structure is good, right? But if I'm long down here and I add here, my core now moves to here, and if it flushes that out and break even again. So I don't really want to do it, because if we can still, right, if they're going to be assholes, they're going to fail value area high, which is why we paid some into here, and come back down to this. So if you add there and they wash this down to the midpoint, you're going to be upset. And if they come down here, that would just be the D-shaped rotation. Ideally, we don't see that, but it's a danger because of how they've set this up. Like this. So if you'd added in that first part of the LVN and this flushes VPOC, do you see what I mean? You'd be upset, right? Because we're not in a trending environment, we have to be careful with ads, because technically speaking, edges pay, right? What was the best long today, right, was this here, where we traded that, and then I added for the reclaim here, or was it here? I can't remember. One of these. All right, and we came to edge, we failed, back to edge, failed, back to edge. We are hoping, because we're long down here, right, we've already TP'd some, we're hoping we get the break. We might not get the break. It might just do this all day long. It's possible. Context, very, very important with this stuff. Coffee, Alex just passed 50K. Been a long time coming. Sincerely, thanks for all you do for us every day. You're showing us it's possible. Yeah, nice work, mate, passing 50K. I think yes, we're going to do the 100K giveaway. We won't do it today. I might even do it at the weekend. I'll do an announcement when we do it. It's still sat in this at the moment. Sorry, folks, just to check some emails there. All right, still holding. Yeah, again, semiconductors, the slight weakness, but MAG's breaking out of new higher day. Still just sitting in this trade, trying to let it work, folks. All right, MAG's breaking out high day. Really good. Fantastic move. Semiconductors, All right, stuck at this same area. We need them. It's the same pivot. All right, we need them to hold this now. All right, because they've come under. They close the gap. That's a higher low. We need another higher low here, and we need this move to 140. We get that, and we get the move we're looking for on the market. Fingers crossed. We've paid ourselves some. Stops are in the money. It goes or it doesn't, folks. There's nothing else to do. I'm not going to overtrade it. It's a Friday. We're in a range. If it goes with the runners, fantastic. Feelers on. It's like 2 to 3 micros for me. Just sticking something on and feeling it out. It depends on your account size and how much you're up. For me, it's like 2 to 3 micros. We start firming up. I'll put another 5 on maybe. What is the higher time frame range? What do you mean? What range? From what higher time frame? 4 months, mate. 4 months. I think that's what you mean. I go to the daily. This is your high volume node. This is 4 months. It started at the beginning of May, right? We're now into August. May, June, July. We were out of it for a bit of August. We're into it, right? Or 3 and a bit months, let's call it, all right? It's a huge range from the 2026 profile, okay? What is a Tyson trade? It is either a mean reversion of initial balance to VWAP. So if they're saying they're looking for Tyson, they're either looking for this trade here, or they're looking for an extension play. We're not going to do downside today if we're thinking about extension. Oh, yeah. Up here. 161. So they're either looking for that, and they're either looking for one of these two things, either this, or they're looking for this versus this. And they can't do anything until it gets to the initial balance. Why won't, what are you saying, the call and put wall for QQQ is at 7.10.20. Why would the price still go up? Well, because we don't just move off a call wall on QQQ or a put wall. There are other factors into it. We like to rotate around those numbers, but the biggest call wall today in 0DTE is actually up at 7.25. That doesn't mean we get there, but like I said, I don't know, like a lot of questions today. Why aren't we going up? Why would we go up? Why would market moves on an auction? Here's the auction, all right? We pulled back to value from yesterday, right? We failed to break under yesterday's value. We reclaimed today's value. We're rotating today's value, and there's very, very strong possibility that we come and take out these if we can keep pushing the market higher, given the strength that's taking place in the broader market right now. Does it have to do it? No. But does it have to stay flat? No. All right, it's a constant auction. Do I have an opinion about the Edgeful platform? No, not really. Like, if you find edge in that stuff, sure. Like, if you're going to use stats, but, you know, stats there to be broken. I care more about what's happening right now than what historically has happened. I mean, I'll give you an example. One of the guys in our room was saying the other day, I can't remember what it was, like no time in the past or something, or a very low percentage in the past have we broken a new high in power hour. And I was like, well, how many of those stats are in a day where we're in a positive gamma squeeze and we're up 1,000 points for the day? Context is everything. Like, Records and stats are there to be broken. Context is everything. Understanding what's happening in front of you is way, 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 way more important than what's happened historically in the past. All right. Historically, if we went by stats, for example, that's not to say you shouldn't. I'm not saying you shouldn't use them, but if we went by stats, right? Well, we did the opposite to what we'd normally see in July. We're probably going to do the opposite to what we normally see in August. If we break out to new all-time highs, which the ES has already done, we've already done the opposite to what you would normally see in an election year. So in a midterm, I mean, you know, stats are there to be broken. They are there to be broken. And all those stats, majority of those stats were probably before the market was heavily zero DTE traded. Here we go, folks. So we're starting to get going now. Still holding this. Right, we are still long and strong, and you know the targets, right? We're looking for high day, and then if we get lucky, we're looking all the way above it. It's the same thing I've been looking at all morning. It's some form of long from this area up to here, and then all the way up to here. It just depends where your entry was. Some of you might be still long from this first entry. I don't know. Some of you might have re-entered on the 120 reclaim. I don't know, but it's this blue box, an entry in here, looking for this up here. We've already locked some in. This up here. And then all the way up here. That's the entry. I'm going to move this along just so we can see price. But look, the blue box held, the LVN held. It's a good sign for bulls. I think we're going to come out and take highs, and I wouldn't be surprised if we take out all the way up here. This is what I'm hoping for. And the resting liquidity, we'll remember on the hourly that we've gone over, that we left this week, which seems very, very sus to me, right, was up here in this red box. This is very, 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 very sus. All right, we left 1, 2, 3, and we added more. I would not be surprised if we come up here. It doesn't have to be today. It's unlikely that we do that today. But you never know. Things can turn around pretty quick here. If he comes out and says, oh, we're doing a deal over the weekend, we can't move it, rule it out. Alex, big thanks to you. Because of you, I was able to get my payout. Thanks a lot. I'll invest my first payout to buy your course and become consistently better. Hey, nice work. Congrats on the payout. High five. Nice work. All right, we're getting near this IB now. Looking good here, folks. See how patient pays? We just sitting still pays you, especially in markets like these. All right, this was the third and last attempt, but it's going to work for us. When isn't he doing the deal? Well, I agree, Charlie, but what I'm really mean is if he puts something like that out, the market's going to respond, right? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it will get done. I'm just saying it's Friday. Who knows? Right, new high day mag, new high day ES, and semis into their pivot here. This is the big, big level coming up, the opening range low. We want to be peeling some off here into this drive, please, into the initial balance high. Did you see yesterday, first time eligible for payout since January? Yes, Tyson. Let's go, bro. I didn't see that. Congrats, man. Nice work. What did make me sure it would go up that you were ready to try the third time long? Look, I'm never sure, right? I never know. I'm just sticking to my thesis. I never know it's going to go up, but my thesis was that we would pull back, hold value area high, reclaim this LVN, and drive higher. So I'm sticking with my thesis because the thesis was that today would do this. That's literally what I drew out. So here's the next TPs, and then we're coming up here. All right, congrats, everyone. Make sure you're locking some in here. Here we go. There's TP. And then we'll just see how hard we can accelerate now. And this is now turning into a banger trade just by being patient. All right, 120 plus points. If we get up here for the next one, it's going to be 200 points. I've paid myself some now. Small size left. If we can do another 100 plus points, fantastic. Is that Tyson from the Tyson trade? It is indeed. That's the infamous Tyson. That's him. All right, so we'll see now if we can get 869s and then 920s, folks. I bought your course. You're the best. Thank you. Appreciate it. Right, so we had the same thesis all day. Nothing changed. They just had to faff around down here. That's what they do. They love faffing about. So the plays today were short for the breakdown here, down to take out this. All right, and once we completed that move, once there was a reclaim, it was just any kind of variation of this. All right, but it's the same play. I think it was the same yesterday. We had a few attempts at it. This is trading. You've got to be willing to eat your stop. All right, and eventually it goes for you. All right, and when we are under here, we don't trade it. But this is the trade. These are the two trades for the day. Right, this is the leg down. This make sense for you. Higher time frame. Right, make it make sense for you. Leg down, reclaim this. This is it on the H1. That's what we're doing. Could they have made it easier for us today? Yes, they could. Yes, they could. All right, but unfortunately, this market, we have to pay close attention. Look at the difference now. Look at the semis finally getting the bid with mags. All right, very, very different market. The moment this happened and they started catching in the bid with the mag, where was this high low? 1040. Let's have a look at 1040. Once that happened, 1040. It was here. That's the first time we had alignment between semis and mag. Look at the difference in the strength of the move, right? Right, now semis are coming up to 140. I would expect them to fail up here at 140. I do not expect them to get through it. We're at the opening range low. We have a cool wall there. I do not expect them to get through it. If they get through it, great. We've paid ourselves. You can move your stop up. We don't have to like get the full move. We've got a lot of meat off this bone, 100 plus points. If the runners go for us all the way up, great. But if not, we might get the Tyson trade here. But we will see. I'm still going to sit in this long and try and let it work because we are getting breakouts across the board right now. All right, so mags breaking out, semis 140 is the level right here. All right, here's your opening range low, 140. I expect this to fail. If they fail that, we're going to come back in. John Dennis, you absolute hero every week. John Dennis getting my coffee on a Friday for me. Appreciate you, my friend. Big love. Thank you for always showing up. Thank you for showing kindness. It is appreciated. Big rejection in front of 140 there on semi so far. I'm still trying to hold this. I'm trying to see if we can get all the way up here. Now, the thing is, if you're going to hold this, you need to be willing for this to come all the way down here and do this kind of thing, right? It does not have to do a one move up. If you're lucky, we get that move, but this is possible. And then it might fail. So you should pay yourself a good chunk. I'd say like 20% left. Here we go. Here's the acceleration. Let's fucking go. All right, so next TP is up into 70s, 870s. Why? Because it's this high here. All right, it's also a cool wall. And once we get through 870s, we can think about the 910 move. And then I'm going to be done with it. There is huge buying up here. So I would really like this bid to hold 830s and IB. Here we go, folks. So we're starting to accelerate. So the next TP is into here. This would be almost 200 points for you guys. Worth taking those 20, 30 point scratches, right? Were you patient enough today? Were you small enough size? Were you willing to eat your stops to be positioned for this final trade? That's what you have to ask yourself. If the answer's no, that's okay. Go and review yourself. Why not? What did you do wrong? Did you oversize? Did you add into a loser? Did you refuse to take your stop? Did you enter when it's set up again? Here we go. Go on. Go and take it. Thanks, Alex, for always showing up. A lot of ups and downs the past couple of months, but way more confident because of your teaching. That's awesome. Thank you, Miller. Great to know. Yeah, you know, trading's an up and down game, my friend. It's an up and down game. It doesn't matter how long into your journey you get. The swings are still up and down. That's what happens. But your consistency will improve. Still looking good. Right, the last huge buyer came in at 830s here, so I'd like to see that protected. Still looking good. We're getting pretty extended here, so I'm expecting a pullback to come. Mags into resistance zone here as well. Semis into that 140s, huge over under. I'm expecting at least 830 to be retested here, and it's possible they flush right the way down towards 785. So just be aware of that. Ideally, we don't do that. We look good. Come on. Let's get this fill. We're almost there. 15 more points. We're almost there for that next fill. They want the day done before lunch. Yeah, I don't blame them. I do too. I do too. Right, if they don't hold IB high in 830 here, then potential flush to come and fill all these huge buyers, which realistically are going to be the short sellers who got stopped out. So their stops got popped at 809, 800, and 790. And we can come and backfill that. Just so that you're aware, if you have to make up your mind, are you willing to sit through that full pullback in hope that you get another piece higher? That's up to you how you want to manage your risk. Remember, today I get back 100 points back to break even already on that first attempt at this move. Still looks good. Still protecting that buyer for now. Right, 140 test here. Semiconductors. We squeeze through that. We go New York Open. So let's hope. Let's hope they do it in one move. Otherwise, 140 to VWAP feels like a very sensible move here on semiconductors. Would I go long on a pullback to 870? What if you weren't already long? You could consider it, but you would just have to remember that would be a failure of the IB. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see some form of two-leg like this before they do this move. All right, I wouldn't trade that if we take that out first, but if we leave that liquidity, it wouldn't surprise me to see something like this. If they keep holding this, we just get the squeeze and then we're done with it. But it wouldn't surprise me to see some form of two-leg before going back up. It would not surprise me in the slightest. All right, here's the IB. Let's see if they bring this down much further. That's absorption on initial balance for now, which is a very, very good sign. And if we get IB expansion here, there's the 1.5. We'll get 950s. 950s is a little bit above my target. So today, expected move is this purple box. We don't expect the market to go higher than that. Cool Wall 1 is there as well. So I'd imagine this is very, very big resistance up here. So if we take this liquidity, I'd imagine there's some form of failure up there. So I'm not sure we'll get the full 1.5, maybe on a squeeze through that. This move, interestingly, would be that H1 liquidity we talked about. That's asking quite a lot on a Friday, but you never know. Can't thank you enough for teaching us and helping. Bless you, mate. Have a good Friday. Arnie, thank you, mate. Very kind of you. Super kind of you. Thank you, buddy. That's my Friday lunch. So I've got coffee from John, lunch from you. Appreciate it. Alex, I really appreciate you being here with us every day. You're the person who I've learned from the most. What's your thought process on adding to a trade? Adding to trade is all about understanding what the target is, right? The low hanging fruits today are here and here. And if we get up here, it's a bonus. All right, we've taken the low hanging fruit. Now, it's also about what your core position is. Like if you are long here, all right, it's an easy add here, isn't it? All right, because you've got a good core position. And then it's an easier add on a retest of here, something like this, right? As long as we haven't taken out the core levels of liquidity. If you have started a position here, for example, or IB, you don't want to be adding more size there. It's all about, you want your core position under the pullback price. So if I'm long here, if I add here, right, the problem is I wasn't long huge size here, but if I'm big size here, I can afford an add here. I'm not. And so I expect the move to come deeper. And if I add there, my core is now flat. So it's all about moving your core where it's going to be protected underneath a swing point, or at least that's how I think about it. I don't want to add too late. All right, let's say we're long here and you add IB, right? Then your core position is going to be here. Well, I expect the market to come there. That's not a good add at that point. But if you're long here and it pulls back and does this, you can probably add there. All right, because your core is going to be down here, and I don't expect the market to come back there unless it fails. Does that make sense? All right, 140 back to VWAP. That move just happened on SOXL. We just talked about it. All right, 140 back to VWAP seems like a very reasonable move here. I'm going to put you on my main screen here so I can read everything. Because I'm having to turn my neck up here and it's starting to hurt. I slept like shit. I reckon I got 3-4 hours sleep last night. Did not sleep well. I don't know why. I've not slept well this week. You can probably see it in me in the mornings. I'm yawning a lot. At what level we consider short? It's not about the level as much as it's about what happens, right? It depends on the trade setup. If you're going to play the failed auction, you can look for this trade down, can't you? But you got to remember the higher time frames trying to push higher. The easier move for that, I would say, is after it's swept, all right, or up here, something like that for a mean reversion. If you're playing the Tyson trade, you're going to have to let this break and move lower. And let's just check the buy side. I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love it. I think we're moving higher. So I don't think there's any reason to short right now, really, unless we break lower. This is the main move for the day that we're looking for. There's the flow. Look, flow zones are holding dips. You're above initial balance. You've seen no failures. You're above value for the day. You're above previous day's value. I don't think there's any short until we finish and there's a big squeeze out. And then if you trap buys at highs, then you can think about it, unless you're adamant on looking for this mean reversion here. Might be a dumb question, but why do you track the semi SOXL instead of the SMH or another index? Because of the volume of options traded on it, mate. Most people trading the semiconductors are trading leveraged positions, as you would have noticed with the liquidation event last week. So it has better gamma levels to look at, and it gives me more of an indication of what's really going on. All right, but in here I trade I view the SOX, but when I'm looking at the levels like the 140, I'm trading the triples. Video on the indicator. What indicator? I don't know what you're talking about. The new one. Well, I'm still testing it, mate. There's no video on it yet. This is up for my my good right now, rather than yours. Sell when new indicator turns red. No, that would just be an indication of heavy selling, but we could turn red and not move lower, which would be an indication of divergence, like down here. All right, so it's not always the case. Same down here at the open. All right, so this is the second leg. Now I want to see if they are willing to bid this around the 80s down to the 60s and trap. So we've let go of IB. I'm looking to see if they do this pullback and hold and then go higher like I drew out earlier. That's what I'm interested in. Right. Looking to see if they do something like this. Hopefully. Those of you in the Tyson trade, you're targeting, I would say be careful of the IB high today, value area high today. If you are trying to do this mean reversion, I don't love it today. I think we're still yet to take out swing points. So I still think this is the move. That's your second leg. I still think this is possible, but we'll see. All in good time. Do I live daily? Yeah, Monday to Friday. It's a bit quieter in here today because it's a Friday and everyone gets frustrated. This is what happens. They all leave. Right? The market does this and they don't have the patience to sit still. So they miss this. And once we get this trade, they're already gone. They've all left because they use their nut in here. All right, in the first 20 minutes, they blow up, they blow everything up, they use their nut, they don't be patient, they don't wait, and then they go to another stream and they do the same thing and they do the same thing and the same thing because they just won't be patient and wait. Are we in positive gamma? We are. Yeah. Yeah. Don't know if you can even see that. Positive gamma. Right, we're above neutral line. Neutral line today for 0DTE is 500s. Right, we were positive above 500s or certainly above 550s. All right, and this is starting to do what I was talking about, and I think this two leg is about to finish. And once we start to reclaim here, there are some buyers stuck at 24s and 29s, and once we reclaim that, I'm still think we're going to see higher. See how this is a second leg, and this is what I drew out for you. I'm thinking something like this comes. Right, there is some buying trapped up here, so they will have to let these buyers out. But once we do it versus this, I think this and this get taken. That's why I'm holding at the moment. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If they stuff this, they stuff it, and it's okay. We've taken some good money out of the market no matter what. What strategy do I use? I just close my eyes like this. Magic 8 ball. What does it say? Oh, it says unicorns aren't real, so I don't know what to do. I must be fucked. I always laugh when people are like, what strategy do you use? Is there only one strategy? Is there only one way to play the market? Is there only one setup each day, apparently? Yeah, I play Leprechaun. The Leprechaun. That's what I do. Taking a piss. All right, my main strategy is very simple. It's to try and find alignment between the higher time frame and the lower time frame. All right, so I start on the daily. We're in rotation. If we hold this, we're bullish. All right, so we're looking to attack upside. All right, so we're in rotation, so limit my trading. We move to the hourly. All right, what are we doing on the hourly? Here's yesterday's value. We broke out from yesterday's value. We came back to yesterday's value. Here is your RBS zone. We found a bid. This is where we wanted to buy. So today I'm looking for this move on the hourly, which on a lower time frame will look like this. Okay, so I'm trying to wait for the alignment for protection of this and this to trade back upside, and then we wait. So we have a choice then on the lower time frame of what we're going to do. Are we going to play the counter trend leg down? Or are we going to play the pro trend leg out? We played both today. Here is the counter leg down to that level. There's value. There's the protection. Here's the pro leg trend back out. All right, and now we're stuck at IB. There is a separate trade here, which is just an initial balance trade. It has nothing to do with anything else. You out? What time are you back?
2:33.
Okay, love you. All right, I'm still expecting this move here. If the initial balance traders win, they're going to come down here. That's all right. We're long from down here. It doesn't matter. We've already paid ourselves. Right? That's how I trade. The thing is, right, a unicorn, if you actually know what a unicorn is, it's a valid setup. It's just laughable that they call it that. Do you know what a unicorn is? Right? It's an area of consolidation that we break out from and we pull back into an imbalance and fill. It's just laughs like, look, it's an RBS zone where we have some engulfing moves because stops get popped that we come up and back test and fill before moving in the same direction. It just makes me laugh. They're like, oh, it's a fucking unicorn, bro, with my broccoli hair. It's a unicorn. Oh my God, have you ever seen a unicorn before? No, because they don't fucking exist. But I tell you what does exist is a very simple resistance becomes support that we break out from with volume where traders are still waiting to get filled. It just makes me laugh. It's what they call it that makes me laugh. Like they're fucking geniuses. Like we've never seen it before. Oh my God, it's a fair value gap. It's an imbalance. It's an imbalance in the market. Do they know what it is? Of course they fucking don't. They don't have a Scooby-Doo what it is. Broccoli, I got my broccoli hair. Bra, 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 bra. Everything's a bra, 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 bra. And now they're all using order flow. Now, when they look at Bookmap, this is what it looks like. This is what makes me laugh. Let me see if I can change it. I came to the market today. Let's do this down. It'd be like this. I came to the market today and I saw a big buyer and I bought. Yeah. I can see where all the stops are. Oh my God, it lines up perfectly with my unicorn. Yeah, you guys don't even know how smart I am. I live in my mom's basement and I whack off the porn every night because I got no girl. Shut the fuck up, you bunch of clowns. Get the fuck out of it. All right, look what we're doing. No way. Did he just predict the market? Oh my God, man. This night fucking Nostradamus out here, bro. Oh my God, bro. Bro. Guess what, bro, goes into broccoli, bro. It's broccoli. I've got broccoli hair, man. Broccoli. I went to the bar, was like, hey, bro, can you give me a broccoli? The fuck is wrong with these guys? Fucking hell, mate. The world's gone absolutely mad. Don't say anything. I'm too sensitive, bro. Don't upset me, bro. I'm very sensitive. Bro, I just made that up on the spot. I quite like it. It's broccoli. Oh my God. I've been watching too much Chris D'Elia. That's what it is. He's fucking amazing. I know there's controversy, but he is so good, man. He is so good. I should do an improv. Yeah. Trading improv. Oh, God. He's overtired. You can tell he's overtired. He's lost the fucking plot today. He is overtired. Oh, my days. God, I'm crying, man. That's how tired I am. Oh, what a year 2026 is. Can't wait for it to end. Right, still sat in this trade. We're just sat in it, waiting to see if we can get up here. That's what we're waiting to see. Hopefully it goes. They are passively selling now. 850, 865, 870, 880. They're starting to get upset there. They're not getting filled where we're looking for. I'm still holding. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. I don't really care. We've made our money. If it goes all the way up, great. I'm just holding runners. There is huge buying that's come in again the last 5 minutes. It's just a non-stop aggressive bid. Some point they'll get punished. Hopefully not before we take out the liquidity at the highs, but we'll see. ES has already taken it out, so we should be somewhat aware of that. Semis are getting stuck at the 140s. They can't break, so this is telling a little bit of a story right now. You should have paid yourself some. Right, Semi's still getting stuck at this 140. Oh, it's a big level. See that? That's a second attempt and failure. If they can't absorb here, I might cut the runner. All right, this is their chance. If they can't absorb this, I might cut the runner here. Mag's pulling back as well off its resistance point. Get out of it, you. Bro. I don't really want to sit through this down to here. If they need to do a bigger second leg, if that's a build out, we'll see. Where's the imbalance here? Still at value area high, 82. So 82s to 70 still look good to be held at the moment. But I tell you what, that is a huge amount of buying. Where have my bubbles gone? Have they not been on all day? Oops. You guys should have told me off. There you go. It's a huge amount of buying up here. Are we doing it a giveaway today? Well, not if you guys don't get the likes up. We're not. You guys have got to get the likes up, man, bro. Got to do it for me, bro. Still holding the level. They're still holding it. Semi's just held that pullback. Let's see. If we get the 140 break, we're on like Donkey Kong, but that's what it's all about right now. Alex, do you swear? Definitely. Do you share your swing analysis and trades in Discord? I do. They're in a separate channel called Swings. I do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We do share them. Look at that SpaceX looking much better now. We'll see how that runs in next week. We alerted that this week as well. All right, so in the swings, where are you? Where are you, swings? There you go. So I'm looking at the moment, I'm looking at now. There you go, SpaceX from yesterday. On watch now for me, given the volume increase, all right? So big difference now, and that we're starting to hold and see absorption coming in. I say here, 130 is still the big level. I'd love it lower, but we'll start paying more attention to it now. The first round of insiders are free to sell. If we don't move lower, that's a sign that market makers are willing to absorb, which is what we're starting to see on SpaceX. So 130 is still the level, but we're starting to see a bit of more absorption there on SpaceX with a bigger float. All right, and it's a big response today, and that's what I was waiting to see. So I'm interested now for the first time. Is the opening range of mine 15 minutes? It is indeed. Awesome day, Alex. And I am so there for the improv show too. Appreciate you teaching us and entertaining. You're welcome. Alex, do you use the broccoli bullish fair value gap? Do you even trade, bro? The thing is, like I say, a lot of the teachings are not bad, right? It's just it's overcomplicated. Look, very simple. Resistance line, right? What you guys want to call an order block, area of consolidation, breakout, all right? Which is what leaves your imbalance. Why does it leave imbalance? Because we are just market buying up, all right? Pull back into imbalance. And unfortunately, they can't see the imbalance. So what a fair value gap is an estimate. It's an estimate of where an imbalance is. All right, so if they hold this or they hold this here for the RBS, that's your unicorn trade or whatever it is, right? So like the teachings aren't that bad. It's just that they're not accurate and they're just given stupid fucking names. And you can just simplify it, all right? It's a breakout that is due a pullback. And if we hold this, resistance becomes support structure. Oh my God, it's not resistance. It's no such thing as supply and demand. Yeah, it is, bro. Yeah, it is. Right? If they hold that, they trade higher. It's that simple. Just don't overcomplicate it with noise, is what I'm trying to tell you. Do you have to pay to join the Discord? There's no monthly fee or anything like that, but it's only for people that do the beginner to the advanced course. All right. It is behind a paywall. You can be upset all you like, but that just protects the traders in there from any person joining and just trading garbage and saying nonsense and promoting and spam and all that stuff, which is what you get in free Discords or even in monthly fee Discords. You get the same. People not knowing how to trade and just joining in. Alex, why do you think now order flow in level 2 is available for so cheap? I remember a few years ago it was so expensive. Was it? I mean, I don't think it's ever been that expensive. Maybe the CME data was more expensive, but Bookmap's been fairly consistent with its pricing. Level 2 data with most people was free. I mean, historically, like if you're trading with Interactive or Trade Zero or any of these people, it's free. Do people trade their setups in Discord? Yes, share their setups. Yeah. It's lunchtime. Oh, it is, isn't it? We're there. We're there. Do we cut this trade short on lunch? Maybe. You got Bookmap today and you're loving it? Yeah, it's a good bit of kit, that. It's a good bit of kit, man. Right, we're done for the day. I'm going to move my stop up and I'm going to protect 760. Where's that imbalance? 65. So I'm going to protect 762s on the runner. If we go, we go. If we don't, we don't. I'm actually all right with it. I'm actually all right with it. And hopefully we get all the way up here. I don't know if we're going to get there on the likes, folks. You're about 330 likes short, so it's up to you. If you want to smash the thumbs up button in the next 2 minutes, we'll do an Apex giveaway. If not, no worries. We'll roll it over to next week. We are going to give away, got to decide how I'm going to do it. We are going to give away 50 Apex accounts in one day. I might do a special stream just for that where we don't trade. We will see. Yeah, 50 to celebrate Flow Zone channel getting to 100,000 likes. Apex kindly sponsored a giveaway, and we're going to do 50 free giveaways. Pretty sweet, right? That's what happens when you support the channel. The bigger this channel gets, the more you use code FCT, the more things like this can happen. All right, we still need another 250 likes, 250 thumbs up on the stream, guys. When will I receive the YouTube button? I'm waiting for the email. They email you within the first within 2 weeks of going to 100,000. So I should get an email from them at some point. And once I get that, then I'll apply for it and get it. Exciting stuff. Looks like the house sale's going through. Happy days. Happy days. All right, you're still 200 likes away. I'm going to give you guys until 5 past the hour. So you've got 2 minutes to do another 200 likes. There's definitely enough of you on stream to do it. It's just whether you can be bothered. If you do it, we'd give away an Apex account. If not, no worries. You're trying the Tyson trade. All I'd say is be careful. There's been a huge amount of buying here, and there's a little imbalance down into value area high. And if they hold that, then they will not let it come to VWAP if they hold that. And the liquidity, like I say, I still think it's high. I'm sitting in this. I'm gonna try and let it work on the runners. All right. So we've hit some TPs here, for like 130 points. I'm trying to get up here, 180 points, and up here for 200 plus points. So I'm gonna try and sit in it, and I'm gonna try and let it just work this afternoon. I've got an OCO on. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Why is trading so hard, mate? Well, yeah, there's a few things, right, with trading that you got to think about. First of all, you are trading against some of the smartest minds in the world who digest information far quicker than you, including like high frequency trading and much bigger players than you and all that stuff. So that's the first thing. You're at a technical disadvantage. Second of all, chances are you don't understand and interpret the market anywhere near as well as people like that do. So you are at a learning disadvantage as well because you're retail. Third of all, the hardest part of trading is to get out of your own way. All right, getting out of your own way is probably the hardest bit when it comes to trading. So if you can't get out your own way, you're never going to get anywhere near to those first two things, getting in line with how they trade. Getting out of your own way means eating stops. It means defining risk. It means learning a proper setup that you can execute and waiting for that setup to come to you, not chasing the trade, waiting for the setup to come to you. If you watch yesterday's stream, that is a prime example. All right, I wanted to be long off the morning bear trap. It was premeditated. I wanted to be long. I could not get filled for the life of me. The thing screamed 200 points without filling anything. But I waited. I didn't chase. And eventually, once we pulled back and consolidated, I was able to get long for the push to high of day. All right. Same as today. I understood what the market wanted to do. It took a few attempts and I get it. I don't get stuck in all this. All right. I'm not getting frustrated. I'm not going long and short and long and short and long and short. No, I'm sticking to my thesis. I'm sticking to my plan each day. There's the plan. All right. I'm sticking to my plan until that plan is showing me that it's clearly failed. All right. So you've got to have your plan each day. It's really important. You can't come to the market without a plan. It's why we turn up every morning, right? And I say, hey, expecting the market to come down into one of these zones here. If we hold this zone, I'm looking for longs. If we lose this zone, I'm expecting rotations. If we lose the underside of that, I'm expecting weakness. All right, that was the pre-market plan. It's simple. Then we stick to it. Get out your own way is the next thing. That can be psychological as much as anything else, not just technical. All right. Hardest thing that traders never do, why most traders quit, is they just don't eat stops. They don't respect stops. That's the truth of it. That's why most traders fail, is they do not respect stops. So they add more size in when they should be stopping out, or they just let it go against them when the trade's invalidated. You would have seen me today. right? We were long, long, partial, stop out. Long, chopped a bit. Okay, stopped out. I'm not going to sit through it. Long, long, partial, letting it work. All right. It's patience. Patience is a virtue. Here's your 2 legs. Still not breaking down. I still think this is possible. So that's why trading's hard. All right. Trading will also teach you a lot of things about yourself. People don't think they're greedy until they start trading. People don't think they're scared until they start trading. People think that they're in total control of all their emotions until they start trading. People think that tilt doesn't happen until they start trading. All right. It is the most rewarding job in the world, not just financially, but in your own self-improvement. If you focus on the self-improvement, the finances will come in time. And that's what's really rewarding about trading. If you're unwilling to look in the mirror and make the changes that you need to make in yourself when you're trading, you will have no longevity in this career. You will burn out, you will get very upset, and you will go and do something else, probably with less money than when you started. That's just the truth of it. Take it for what it is. You've either got the ability to look in the mirror and fix the changes, which humans are very bad at doing historically. We do not like to have admission of faults, all right? We like to point the fingers, all right? How many times you've been in an argument and you've pointed your finger at someone else? Oh, it's their fault, or this person did this, or my boss did that to me. Well, you do the same in trading. Oh, it's the market makers doing that. Oh, they're doing this, and da 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 da. No, control the controllables. That is the size you put on, the entry you take, your stop loss, and your profit. That's what you can control. Nothing else. Control that, you'll be all right. Sonic's just not worth it, mate. It ain't worth it. All right? I promise you, it's not worth it. So if it's actually wrecking you that much, you need to stop. All right? You need to stop. If it's actually wrecking you that much, go and trade paper. Don't trade real money. Learn the skill. If you still can't get it out your head and it's driving you mad, stop. Do not be at a casino if you cannot control yourself. Your life is far more precious than time spent on these screens. Please, do not do something silly, all right? Because you can't get that back. Your family can't get that back. Your friends can't get that back. And most people that do that and survive deeply regret it. I've lived through stuff like that this year. So I'm telling you now, don't do it. Go and get some help. Go and talk to some friends. Don't be scared to ask for help, professional or friends. Do not sit here and do something that makes you feel that way. Life is far too precious. You can be very happy living somewhere in the world on a very low salary, finding rewards in other ways in life. You do not need to do this as a job, okay? You don't. It's addicting. You don't need to do it. Email me if you need to talk, Sonic, all right? Email me if you need to talk. Reach out to me. You're not alone, mate. You are not alone. Don't experience stuff like that alone. Triggered me today. No, it's triggered me. I hope you're all right, buddy. All right, are we there on the likes? All right. I need to go and reset here, guys. I'll be right back. All right. Let's do this giveaway. We're not there, but let's do it anyway. Feeling kind after a conversation like that. Let me set it up. Please don't do anything else yet. All right. Type FCT just once. Yeah, if you haven't guessed what I've been dealing with this year, now you can probably guess. So type FCT just once in chat, and we'll do a giveaway. Aye. Life, eh? Never easy. Always a learning lesson. But I tell you what, love will always conquer. I tell you that much. All right. Let's pull this winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brandon Shee, 8784. Brandon, are you here, buddy? Yeah, congrats. Nice, dude. All right, just email me info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of you logged into YouTube, all right, dude, and I will sort you out. My other account expires today. Nice, there you go. Beautiful. Congrats, bud. That's awesome. That worked out, didn't it? That worked out. All right, guys, we're done for the day. We're done for the week. What I'd be looking at this afternoon. All right, I'm going to hold this long all the time we're protecting this. All right, I'm still hoping that we can finish it and I can get my runner to go. If we lose value for the day, then we're going to rotate this D shape again. All right, that would be the rotation. I would like to see this, but you know, if we can't hold it, then we rotate this for the day. I don't think we're going to see weakness today unless something seriously changes into close. But all the time we're holding above this, technically we're strong. We're migrating value back upside. Let's look at this current weekly profile. Sorry, let's make sure this is right. There's this point of control from the current week. We're still absorbing over it. Next control line is 800. Yeah, so we're still look good for an upside move, I think. But we'll see. We'll see what they want to do. You're the man, bro. As you said, we all have a story. Pain is sadly part of life. One step at a time. Keep up the good work. That's it, mate. That's it. Thank you for the bonus. Yeah, that's it. It is one. I said it last week. It is 1 foot in front of the other each and every day. It's making the changes to habits, and it's just doing as much positivity as possible. It's keeping that mindset in a good area. Sonic, if you need to reach out to me, please do. All right, please do. All right, everyone, peace and love. Don't forget, sign up for that newsletter. That's free, completely free. The link is pinned in chat, and that will be in your inbox tomorrow morning. I do that every week for free. Let's go over the prop firms before I get told off from them for never pushing. My Fund of Future still has a sale on. Their best account right now, in my opinion, is the End of Day Rapid. That's probably the best account out there right now. Still 90% off with Apex. Still a sale on Funded Next right now. And still with Lucid, still 40%, I believe, with Lucid. And the same with Tradeify. And it's also, those are all with code FCT, and also a sale on Take Profit Trader right now, code FlowZone. All right, team. Big love, everyone. Make sure you get off the charts this weekend. Okay, get off those charts. And good reminder to yourself, there's a whole world out there. It ain't all candlesticks. All right, get off the charts. Peace and love, everyone. Trade safe. Love to you and all the families. Take care. Use hard stops.